Hello and welcome back to Manvfilm. It's time for December announcements. As always, I'm fashionably late with my thoughts on them, but we're going to dive in. As per usual, I'll be somewhere on the screen and we'll put up the pages of Arrow and Eureka, and a very special announcement at the end that I feel I just need to drop in there. So we're going to have an initial look at some of the releases and just my thoughts on them. We're going to start off with Arrow as per usual, and I'll look at their rather held back December slate. Realistically, there's two titles that they have dropped, well, three, sorry, that they've dropped off. And we're going to start off with Versus. So this is an action horror movie. There's one that I've heard mentioned a lot, but I never got around to seeing it. It came out in 2000. A relentless, one-of-a-kind sensory assault, chock full of hyperkinetic fight scenes. Sold. This one sounds pretty great. Look at the extras on this one. We've got the Ultimate Versus, which I'm not really too sure what that is. It's lossless Japanese 6.1, optional English subtitles. So this is both versions of the film, the original 2000 cut and the 2004 Ultimate Versus, featuring 10 minutes of new revised footage. And I checked out the trailer for this, and as per usual, the trailer is just almost fit-inducing, the way it cuts between all these wild and crazy antics. It looks interesting. The end of the year is rather stacked for me, and I have to be extremely choosy about what I'm picking up. So Versus is one that I'm not going to get immediately unless you guys can convince me otherwise. It's something that I'll probably get further down the line. I like action, I like horror, I like these kind of movies, but it just, there's too many other things in the slate. And let's go to some of those. We have Survivor Ballads, 3 films by Shohei Imamura. Now, I have the Ballad of Narayama because that was released in the Masters of Cinema collection. This is Zegan and Black Rain. I've heard wonderful things about Black Rain. Just have a quick look at the extras here. I'll leave them up and you can have a read of them yourself. Don't need me reading out everything here. Imamura is a well-renowned filmmaker. There was, I think it was 8 movies released as part of Masters of Cinema. I've picked up most of them, including their box set. Again, this is something that I don't know if I'm instantly going to buy. There's 2 movies there that I don't have already, and I'm not interested overly in the limited set. It's not enough to go and buy it straight away. And I noticed that Arrow are re-releasing a lot of their limited set in slimmer cases with really good prices, especially during sale times. And I've got a feeling that this is one that I probably will end up getting like maybe a year down the line for 20 quid or under in an Arrow sale, maybe. Now let's move on to what can only be regarded as the absolute mic drop of announcements in my eyes. And that is Tremors limited edition Blu-ray. This wasn't quite as jaw-dropping as I thought. If I look at some of the pictures here and some of the images that come with it, I like this red poster that comes with it. It kind of gives you the anatomy of a graboid. The extras are extensive and I really like the idea of this. I wish they had somehow managed to include the pilot of the Tremors TV show that never aired, which brought back Bacon. I would have loved to have seen lots and lots of extras with this one, and I'm really interested in it enough to actually pre-order this one, but not this version. I went for the 4K version of Tremors. Tremors is a movie I ultimately just love. I managed to see it in the cinema a couple of years ago. I think it's amazing. It's most definitely a movie that I feel very comfortable paying the crazy kind of money that they're asking for it, and I still feel that's an expensive price to ask someone to drop for this kind of movie. I love it enough to go for it. It's the first UHD that I felt instantly had to buy. It's a 3-disc or 2-disc edition. It's got the features and extras on the 4K, and then it has the same extras as the Blu-ray as well. 60-page perfectly bound, featuring new writing, book by Kim Newman and Jonathan Melville. Large folded double-sided poster, a small fold-out double-sided poster featuring new graboid X-ray art, and other kind of jazz and stuff like that. But for me, I just love Tremors. I'm the guy that kind of likes the sequels as well, even though I know they were pretty crap. I'm looking forward to the latest one that comes out. Is it this month or maybe next? Tremors 7. And I'm going to watch that and review it because I love the series. But I can't wait to have this on 4K. This is the kind of movie that I want in my 4K collection. A movie that is indicative of me and the kind of things that I utterly love. I've pre-ordered it. I got it locked in at £27 or something on Amazon. I'm hoping it will drop a little bit lower than that. Regardless, I'm getting it. So let's move on to Eureka's announcements for December, and they've kind of went the opposite route. They've got multiple titles announced, a lot of them re-releases, but we'll get into it when we get to it. So let's start with their recent release, which is The Painted Bird, and this is an almost 3-hour exploration of a small Jewish boy as he encounters various people during the war. Now, I've heard wonderful things about this movie. It's not something that I was going to get to anytime soon. I'm deciding to give it a miss, even though the limited edition O-card slipcase is only for the first 1,000 copies. That's going to go really quick. This movie's got a great name about it. It's not one that I'm going to drop the money on straight away. Maybe somebody will buy me it for Christmas, but it's as interesting and as stunning as the cinematography looks and as wonderful as the reviews are. It's one I'm going to give a miss to. Next up, we've got the first of 3 reissues. We have number 216 in the Masters of Cinema range, which is Hell and High Water, Samuel Fuller movie. Now, they released the Samuel Fuller box set, which I reviewed not long ago, and 2 of the titles were new titles. These are limited to 1,000 copies. Now, it doesn't say like just slip cards or that. These films are limited to 1,000 copies. It's to do with licenses. The licenses are running out. If you are a collector of Masters of Cinema and you don't want to be paying a fortune in a couple of months' time, these are essential pickups. You need to get these ones as soon as you can. Hell and High Water is a wonderful submarine movie. We've got Richard Widmark as the captain as they're investigating an island to see if they are doing atomic experiments there. It's wonderful. It's really exciting. It's one of Steven Spielberg's favourite movies. And it's also in a 2 for 22 when purchased with House of Bamboo, which is the other 1,000 unit limited set, which we'll get to that just now. Again, the 2 of these for £22 is great value, and like I said, these are going to go quick. Once they're out, they're going to go for stupid money as scalpers just try to gouge the collectors once more. House of Bamboo was my least favourite of the Fuller set, and it was still a good 3.5 out of 5 movie for me. I really liked it. I thought Robert Stack was a bit wooden in the movie. There's some of the extras that comes with it. These 2 movies are wonderful. The Fuller at Fox set was a wonderful set. Loved almost all. I loved all the movies in that set. Thought it was terrific. These 2, I won't be getting because I've already got, but I do highly recommend them. Another set I really do highly recommend is Once Upon a Time in China trilogy. Jet Li as Wong Fei-hung, and this is an amazing series of movies. These were the movies that got me into Asian cinema in the 90s. Me and my friend Pete just loved these kind of flicks. And I do feel that the title here is a little misleading. You know, the Once Upon a Time in China trilogy. Great. The first 3 movies are amazing, but this includes a fourth movie, Once Upon a Time in China and America. So you're actually getting 4 movies for £26. Ridiculous value. They're great. Now the China and American one is a little bit not wonderful. Sammo Hung's in it and it's really kind of fun. But the first 3 movies are just wonderfully done. Choi Hark directs, great. Look at all the extras that come with that. If you missed out on the limited set, which I got, pick this up. The new art is terrific. I think it's just a wonderful series of movies and highly recommended. And on to the last one from Eureka, which is the Inner Sanctum Mysteries, the complete film series. £30, Lon Chaney Jr. 6 movies of which I know absolutely nothing about, but I am super interested. I've pre-ordered this one. This is the other December release that I'm going after. Filmed from 1943 to 1945, 6 movies, and they look almost pre-Twilight Zone-ish kind of movies. It's hard to get a real feel for them. I doubt they're going to be outstanding kind of films, but I think they're going to be really curious and interesting. It comes with an O-card slipcase, has a slew of extras which I've got there, and there is all the titles of the movies that are there, and a small synopsis that you can see on screen. I'm sold on this one. Like, this was one that really took my interest straight away, and enough for me to just put the money down and order it. And now, lastly, I just want to mention one quick announcement that I was blown away by, and it's from Vinegar Syndrome. It's not a December release, coming out in November, and because I'm a subscriber, I automatically get it, but I cannot wait for this movie, and it is The Beastmaster. Don Coscarelli's The Beastmaster from the early 80s with Mark Singer is a movie that I utterly love. Like, I first discovered this way back in the 80s, and it was just great to see this sword and sandals kind of movie where we have our lead character who is connected with these animals. I think it's a panther, a hawk, and a couple of ferrets, and he can see through the eyes of the hawk. He can connect with these animals. They help him. There is this really twisted bad guy. There are these hauntingly twisted, nightmarish scenes of people with these helmets, with this green ooze that's driving them crazy, hunting for people. I was giddy as a schoolgirl when this was announced. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. There we get a quote from Don Coscarelli, who's so happy that this is given the 4K treatment. And this is another one that I just, like I said before, I'm limiting my 4Ks to movies that I utterly adore. I utterly adore The Beastmaster, and I cannot wait to get it. It's got a case which the movie sits into and has a slipcase around, and it's got a booklet and got a load of other things. The Beastmaster it's a movie that I did not expect to get the 4K treatment, and I am so happy it has. So, and just a quick question to you: of these mostly December announcements, what are you picking up? What have you pre-ordered, and what really makes you curious when it's almost worth ordering? Are you going to be getting any of these for Christmas? I hope I will be. And that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box. I'll see you next time.